And another day, another crazy headline in crypto. I'm looking at something right now that honestly, I feel like we're in a simulation. This is the front page of the Wall Street Journal. Actually, this is an article on the front page of the Wall Street Journal. And it says that Walmart and Amazon are exploring issuing their own stable coins. I can't tell you how crazy that is to read that headline, because a year ago, Elizabeth Warren and the Senate Finance Subcommittee and the President of the United States and the SEC were trying to put everybody in jail for even thinking about stablecoins. And now you've got companies that want to bypass the banking system and issue their own stablecoins, which is basically their own crypto. And it's just mind-boggling that this could happen. And the subheadline says corporate coins, the fact they're even saying that is crazy, could take payments activity away from banks and the traditional finance system. Isn't that wild? So the banks that have been slowing this entire adoption of crypto now might get taken out of the loop, and the corporates might come in there and issue their own stable coins. And if this isn't yet another sign that crypto is about to go massively mainstream, I don't know what else you need to see. I'm going to talk a little bit later about how it looks like the White House and the government is going to start actively buying Bitcoin for the strategic reserve. The Genius Act, the stablecoin bill, was passed by the Senate with an overwhelming majority and Democrat support this week. So that should be ratified. The big, beautiful bill is happening. And now everyone is talking about September rate cuts, which is going to send crypto to the moon, parabolic, banana time, whatever you want to call it, which is what we've been waiting for. And that's really exciting. And even if that doesn't happen, we know we get a new Fed chairman at the early part of next year. And you know that guy or girl is going to be cutting rates their first day in. It might even be Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent, who might be the new Fed chairman. And you know he's going to cut rates by 100 basis points or a full percentage point the day he arrives. And as the market starts to know that's going to happen, that's actually going to be as if he does it maybe even by Christmas. So many bullish signs, it's not even funny. And yet prices still remain reasonable enough to buy, which is why we're investing like madmen and madwomen behind the scenes. So look, let me jump into this presentation and let me show you what is actually going on here, because this is where it's going to get really exciting. And that's where I want to show you what the big headline is as well. I'm going to show you this presentation right now, which is kind of hot off the presses. And you can see the headline here. Bitcoin suddenly surges as the price braces for this extraordinary White House update. And it is rumored by Bo Hines, who's one of the advisors in the White House, that it looks like they're now going to start actively buying Bitcoin. Now, they could be doing this with gold reserves. They could be doing this with unallocated capital. And they could take that reserve from 200,000 Bitcoin, which is what the U.S. currently holds from seizures, right up to 1 million Bitcoin. Of course, we already know other nation states are doing this, and this is just going to push everything all the way to the moon. Folks, before we get started, I just want to say this presentation, it really is for information purposes only. It's not intended to be investment advice. If you are looking for that, please go find a professional. I also want to give you this free module, which is module 1 of our super premium program called the Investment Club. Quite frankly, this is where all of our members are making a lot of money over the past really 12 to 18 months. I'm talking about millions and tens of millions of dollars. And it's where we invest in early stage protocols on the blockchain. This is a 19-page document. And if you go to londonreal.tv/download, you can actually have that for free. I also want to give you a free video, which is going to show you how to find the hottest crypto pre-sale tokens in 3 easy steps. And I'm going to teach you about what we use behind the scenes, these things called SAFT agreements, and how we use these pre-sale tokens to really make everything happen. I'll give you the link to this video at the end of the presentation, so just stay with me, and I'll give you that right at the end. Folks, pre-sale tokens is a practice of secretly buying tokens from a CEO before they go live to the public and be offered to millions and tens of millions of people. It's a bit like an IPO in the stock market. You buy shares as a private investor, and when it gets listed on the stock exchange, we see these huge gains. It happened this week with a company called Circle. It was up massively, like $20 billion. It went up higher once it was listed. We're doing the same thing behind the scenes, and when you see our results, you're going to be blown away. By the way, one of your favorite cryptos called Solana was actually offered as a pre-sale token many years ago, and nobody even knows about it. This token right now trades for about 160 to 200 bucks, depending on the day. And you could have bought this thing for 4 pennies each. I kid you not. And in that case, $1,000 invested would be worth 5 million bucks today. That's one trade, 1,000 bucks, $5 million. Now, look, a lot of you know, I started my career on Wall Street. I worked in London, Chicago, New York City, Tokyo, all over the world. I traded stocks, bonds, equities, commodities, you name it. I'd never seen an instrument that can turn 1,000 bucks into 5 million, and one that everyday people like you can buy. If you're still sleeping on crypto, wake the hell up and get involved. And folks, this is a deal that we did recently. This is actually a snapshot of the legal document that we signed. We invested, as you can see from this circle, $200,000. We actually bought these tokens for 1.25 pennies each. And what happened? Well, on the day of the public sale, everything went a little crazy, and the token was up 20x at launch. We made a $4 million profit, and the company was called Skillful AI. It's artificial intelligence on the blockchain. And this CEO called Zoltan got to come in, and he gets his own episode of London Real. This is one of the super cool things we do with our portfolio companies. And that's one of the reasons these things go up, is because we show them off to the world. We get them new customers, et cetera. And he said, Brian, this is going to 100x. So hold on, you're about to make 20 million bucks. I was like, okay. Next thing he said was weird. He said, Brian, I want to join your investment club. And I was really taken aback, because I thought a guy like this would have plenty of deal flow. He said, Brian, you get better deals than I do. You get cheaper prices because you're famous and you have a media platform, and you get the tokens faster than I do. I might have to wait 3 years to get my tokens. You get them in 3 months. And I was like, wow, okay. So I said, okay, you got to talk to Martini, and she's going to make you pay full price. But if you do that, then you're in. And sure enough, 2 weeks later, he did that, and he's now a member. So we really have some high-level people behind the scenes. Folks, this is another company we invested in called Shrapnel. It's a game on the blockchain. And this investment was up 20x in 20 days, made us a $5 million profit. This is another deal we did that was up 20x. And again, 20x it's again, pretty incredible. If you put $10,000 into an investment like this, you make a $200,000 profit. This is the chairman of that company named Yatsu. He'll be in the studio actually in about 2 weeks. And this is the digital ID system for a massive company he runs called Animoca. Folks, this is a deal called Story Protocol. It was up 22x on the launch. We invested with a massive VC company called Andreessen Horowitz. This is a meme token we did. It was up 14x. One of our members, Christina, put in $30,000 on this deal, and she woke up to a $420,000 profit. That is real money that'll change people's lives, and it's something that we're really proud of. And of course, this is the $1 billion fund we invested in called 1RT. This is the manager, Dan Tapiero. He was actually down at the stock exchange in New York City last week, because one of the companies in his portfolio called Circle is the one that had the oversubscribed IPO. It went from 7 billion to 28 billion in basically one day. And we are really happy to have put money in his fund, and we've already seen a really massive 4x return on that. Folks, I like to show off some of our latest deals here, and we're actually closing these as we speak, but there's still little allocations. So if you want to get involved, you can actually still join and put money in these deals, and that's what makes them really exciting. The first one is a company called Metafied, and it's actually using humans to build an AI-powered model that's going to beat Wall Street and get incredible returns. This company is just doing incredible things. The founder, Frank, is regularly on Bloomberg Television. He's regularly down at the stock exchange, and this is Metafied. I don't know how this doesn't win in a big way and probably start making a lot of cash flow.
I love everything about these guys are doing.
That's just huge.
This is a really exciting project. I think it's great.
The idea behind Metafied is to rate assets in real time. We started down the path of using people to augment and modify the neural network predictions. We realized that people were much more important than usual. And how could we get that in? The best way to do it is these simple people-based games where you're playing against AI. And we would say in 5 minutes, the price of Bitcoin is going to be, 93,550 or something like that, right? The humans would then play against the AI to say, no, I think it's going to be higher. I think it's going to be lower. So what you'd have is a symbiotic relationship between AI and humans that results in a more accurate market arbitrage. And what that lets us do is be 23% more accurate.
How does that revenue model work from, I guess, there's a B2C and a B2B?
B2C, we get 2 places of revenue. One, when you buy our token on the way in, and then we take 1.5% of every game that's played. And then on the institutional side, 0.0875% of every trade that we execute in or out, we get to keep that.
Let's see the thumbs. Zung is in, Dr. Encore's in, Colber's in, Trevor's in, Petya's in, Dave Magoon's in, Chris Cunningham's in, John Boyle's in. We had 100% thumbs up here.
I think it's great. I think it's a great combination. We know AI agents and AIs in general are a big thing. Predictive market's a big thing. And they've already got great support from many different institutions, but also from actual blockchains themselves. So I love Frank and his team.
Well, he's got the history, he's got the pedigree, but they've also got the team interplay together where they work together well. I think that's great.
You know, Frank is an experienced guy. I mean, you almost can't imagine this guy losing with the amount of experience that he has.
Boom. So that's one of the deals we're working on right now. You can also see the format of what we do behind the scenes. And we have those calls on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. UK time. If you are interested in attending one of those calls, send Martini a message. And you can really see how everything happens. It's super exciting. Look, quantum computing is something everybody's worried about. They're these brand new computers that are basically going to break every password, break every encryption out there, and maybe turn our Bitcoin into, you know, worthless tokens. Maybe break every password, maybe break every nuclear launch code. We're worried about it. And we found the company that can basically quantum proof the blockchain and everything else. It's called Narus Protocol. These guys are next level, been working for 7 years on this. And this is something we're actually funding right now. Check it out.
I'm blown away, honestly.
The founder is pretty impressive. This guy knows what he's doing.
This is the kind of protocol that it's worth 100 billion.
We're going to be the top blockchain protocol. We're using post-quantum cryptography for everything. Generation of keys, for wallets, for data movements. We eliminate single points of failure, prepare for quantum threats. We can apply quantum protection on all data. We enhance trust and compliance and can work at nation state level. We have been in research for about 7 years and created a number of peer-reviewed papers. This is more than proven. And we can do post-quantum RWA assets, post-quantum validations on current chains, and we can apply to any critical environments in the real world.
What do you say to clients who say quantum is never going to happen? It's 20 years out. I got bigger problems now. I don't need you.
Quantum chips are here. They're going to become more and more available. Nation states are spending ridiculous amounts of money on it. This is extremely strategic globally. We are not changing our perspective. We have been advised to do this even 4 or 5 years ago by our NATO advisor generals. So we know we're in the right track. We're just going to carry on.
2 thumbs up if you are a fan of Narus Protocol and everything they're doing. So 2 up from Richard, 2 up from Saskia, 2 up from Arno, Daniel, Patrick, Alessandro. That's 100% up, boys.
It seems like something we should be in. I'm glad we have this opportunity. It's amazing.
I think everything is going to be going quantum, and they got high-level partnerships.
It seems very, very high potential for what's coming in the future in this ecosystem.
This is probably one of the best mature projects we've ever seen. The opportunity seems pretty much infinite. They are the perfect people in the right sector doing the right project. These guys are thinking about the future and beyond.
Oh yeah, we love this. We love seeing projects like this. This will probably be our only quantum proof project in our portfolio, but we definitely want one. And it's definitely going to be a huge part of the future. So those are some of our latest deals. Like I said, if you message Martini, you can join us on one of those calls on a Monday or Thursday. They're really educational. You can see the community. You can see how we really evaluate things. You know, a lot of people have been asking us lately, how are we picking so many winners? How are we having so much success? How are we making so much money? And a lot of people thought it was luck, but you know, after 10, 20, 25, 30 winners, there's something else going on. And we think it's really that success is what happens when preparation meets opportunity. We've just crossed 4 years of being all in on crypto, graduated thousands of students from our Crypto and DeFi Academy, over 150 members of our investment club. And we've now deployed over $20 million of capital, and we're really getting good at this. And so this is really a well-oiled machine, and the people that join us really quickly have success. Folks, a lot of you have tried to invest in crypto on your own and failed, and probably feel like Drake on the top here. You know, it's really frustrating out there. You don't know who to listen to, and 95% of crypto traders lose money. And a lot of people come in and they quit because they just think it's not for them. But this really is the future. They are instruments of freedom. And so we found another way, and that is to come in, invest alongside myself and my team and London Real Ventures and the investment club. And I guarantee you are going to find out the amazing things that are happening behind the scenes. And it's called our investment club. This is the path to financial freedom. This is a solution to you struggling to go paycheck to paycheck for probably most of your life. This is the solution to your dreams about having enough money to where you might have the room, the breathing room, the freedom to really do something special with your life. Well, we believe we've created the program that's going to allow anyone who joins it to create the generational wealth that will give them that freedom to do what they want in their lives. It's been our most successful program. It's been our most subscribed program, and it's really an incredible opportunity, but it's only going to be good while we have this current bull cycle in crypto, which we don't know when it's going to end. It could end any week, any month. And so we really emphasize that you want to make sure you don't sleep on this and you don't wait or procrastinate. I would join as soon as possible, and you can see what's happening in the market. Of course, the only way to join is to actually speak to Martini. She's here on this call, and there's 4 different ways you can actually book a call with her, and she's happy to sit down and find out if this is a good fit for you. But like I said, if you struggle with money throughout your life and you really want to create enough wealth to provide for your family and protect for their future, this is the way to do it. But she is very busy, and some people around the world are very serious about joining us. So make sure you're serious too if you book this call. We also have a 4-week program called our Crypto and DeFi Academy. And if you just want to come up the curve for a very low price point, then you can join this. I think our next course is starting next week. It's 4 weeks, 4 modules. We'll take you from zero to hero in all things crypto, blockchain, Bitcoin. I teach it personally. It's actually 8 hours of live calls with me and my team. We have a triple tiered accountability system to make sure you actually do the work. We got dedicated coaches and team leaders and community managers that'll help you along the way. And we got a private group for posting assignments and videos. And we've got people that'll help you along the way. This is amazing. All of my investment club students have actually graduated from this as well. And I would say it's a really good way to start if you really want to learn the ropes. But it's not necessary to actually start investing that we're doing behind the scenes. Of course, we walk through module 1, really the history of crypto, get you to read the white paper and talk about everything that's happened over the last 13 years. Module 2, we really get you to set up your hot wallet, your cold wallet, your centralized exchanges, and you actually do your first DeFi trade with Ethereum. Module 3, you start doing complex DeFi protocols like earning interest on your crypto. And module 4, we show you how to trade and manage risk and how to make money with your initial 10 coins. It really is an amazing comprehensive program. Of course, if you're watching this call, you're pre-approved. You can go to loanreal.tv/buy and lock that in right now. This is a no-brainer. I would jump all over this if I were you. And of course, I just want to give you a free gift. This is something we give people inside the program. It's my eight-step trading checklist that I took from Wall Street and now apply it to crypto. You can take a screenshot of this if you want. You'll get this inside the Crypto and DeFi Academy as well, but it's just a gift we wanted to give you. Folks, this is the big news. Bitcoin suddenly surges as the price braces for this extraordinary White House update. And again, what we've heard behind the scenes is that Bo Hines has teased that this update's happening where it's going to be revealed, basically, the architecture of how they're going to start adding to this reserve. He actually mentioned this to podcaster Scott Melker. I really like Scott. I sat down with him in Singapore where he actually interviewed me. And it's exciting to see this is what's coming up. We also know that now there's this huge global race for digital currency control. Everyone's involved. You got to see earlier, Amazon and Walmart are issuing their own stable coins. There's so much going on here. And now we know by Standard Chartered Bank that each Bitcoin could be worth $500,000 each. It's really mind-boggling. And of course, this is the news that came through. Look at that. Actually, it was 68 yeses and 30 nos on the Senate floor of the Genius Bill. This is the Stablecoin Act, folks. This is happening. Senator Cynthia Lummis said that this actually might pass next week. Can you imagine? You go to Walmart and they're giving you a stablecoin. I mean, honestly, it's mind-boggling, and it's happening right now. And of course, our good friend Jeremy Allaire, who was on the show a little while back, just pumped his fists in the air as he hit one of the most successful IPOs in New York Stock Exchange history with his company Circle. Like I said, it went from 7 billion to 27 billion, I think in a few hours. And it was just fantastic to see one of our friends having so much success. Of course, we also know that huge things are coming because nation states are now buying Bitcoin. And it's really a global arms race of who can get there faster and dominate cyberspace. We, of course, know also that the Middle East is now gobbling up this crypto because Gentlemen like this from Kuwait and Saudi and Qatar and Abu Dhabi, they don't want to get lost out. And we already know Abu Dhabi has picked up $500 million. Rumors are there's multiple billion more coming from them. And we now know that a new wave or a $15 trillion earthquake is heading straight for Solana, Ethereum, Bitcoin, and more. And of course, recently I ran to be mayor of London on a pro freedom of speech, pro crypto platform. I wanted the voting to be on the blockchain, the budget to be on the blockchain. And of course, I wanted to create the London coin. Wanted to give 100 pounds of crypto to every man, woman, and child in this city and really give them the financial education the schools didn't give them. But they weren't ready for me. So I decided just to make my members filthy rich instead, which is more fun, I think. This is me in Dubai at our second studio. Sitting down with the movers and shakers in crypto. If I'm honest with you, these are the people that will bring you the deals that will make you millions and tens of millions of dollars. I still believe in personal connections. That's how we source the highest quality deal flow in the world. This is Dr. Marwan Al-Zaruni. He's a legend in the crypto space and in the UAE. He's become a good friend. And this is him in the studio. This is Uni Wong, huge influencer in crypto. She can really move markets. This is Carl Moon. He was actually working as a grocery store clerk in Sweden in 2018. There's pictures of him. And he basically visualized and manifested and attracted over $1 billion of crypto wealth. And if he can do it, trust me, you can do it. This is my good friend, Chris MM Crypto. He was driving a taxi in Germany in 2017. Now he probably has over $1 billion in crypto. You can do this too. The only thing stopping you is your excuses and all the reasons that you don't want to be successful. But if you can bypass those, this is all out there just waiting for you to grab it. Folks, we're investing over $5 million into 15 different blockchain and AI deals this quarter. It's happening now. And why do I tell you that? Because it means we know everything that's going on. We know sometimes more than the founders as far as what's going on. We know probably the best strategies as far as to issue a token, what exchanges to use, what blockchain to use, because we speak to so many founders every single week. And it's all because of this, London Real Ventures. This is the structure we created. It's the world's first media-powered investment firm. And we take this massive media company, London Real, with 1 billion views, 14 years of history, and we combine it with a venture capital company with $25 million in capital. When you do that, magic happens. And magic for me looks like our portfolio. This is beautiful. Each one of these companies has the potential to become a $5 billion, $10 billion protocol. And these are all of our investments. You see decentralized finance protocols, you see games, you see artificial intelligence, you see infrastructure projects. It's really amazing what we've built. And we've just hit a milestone. Actually, we've crossed over $21 million into over, I think, 105 Web3 companies. We're actually bigger now than most VC funds. And, we started off as just a little old podcast, and look at us now. This really is the future of what we're building. And of course, you can join us. Folks, another way we win is we invest along these really big names. And when you do that, you have a higher probability of winning because they really do their due diligence and they pick the best projects. And so we can bring these wins to you. And of course, we've been getting a lot of awards lately, and we're really recognized in the industry here as the best venture capital KOL or key opinion leader of the year. And of course, I recently got a Lifetime Achievement Award for our investing in our media from the Global Family Office Summit. And of course, we also like to support crypto in all sorts of ways. And so for Crypto Fight Night, I decided I'd jump in there and represent London Real as well and try to teach this young kid some manners. It was a fun night, and it looks like he wants some more, Martini. So we'll be doing this again and running it back in October in Singapore. Never a boring night here, and always in the name of crypto. Folks, we think the greatest way to predict the future is just to go out there and create it. And we try to attract members around us that believe they can change the future, because we know we can. We've been doing that for 14 years. We did this heavily in 2020. And if you want to be around people like that really manifest their futures and attract these beautiful outcomes and live these incredible lives, well, then come along with us. And it's really all about our values here. We really believe in creating a mass scale transformation of humanity into a fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. This really keeps us grounded and attracts a lot of high-level founders. But of course, what's really important to me is making sure I provide and protect my family. And so these two boys who I just took to school this morning, Caden and Damon, they asked me a lot of questions about the future and AI. They're curious about blockchain, and they're curious in a very uncertain world. And I worry that I'm not going to be able to provide for them or protect them. And so what I do every day is I take lots of risk so I can have the reward to make sure I can take care of my family. And if it's something that you're concerned about, let me give you a little advice. Saving your money is the stupidest thing you can do. Doing as you've been told for most of your life, it's probably not going to work. And if you're still struggling now, repeating the same behavior is going to get you nowhere. You're going to have to make a radical change in your behavior and your risk taking if you want to be able to provide for your family and also protect them in the future. And so maybe it's time to really take a look at yourself and say, hey, I need to do something radical to radically change my wealth. Well, that's exactly what we're doing here. Folks, this is our friend Michael Saylor. He's become quite famous lately for being all in on Bitcoin. He has about $60 billion of Bitcoin. He's buying another 40 billion right now. He thinks each Bitcoin is going to $13 million. And he thinks that AIs and ETFs are going to power a decade-long gold rush for Bitcoin. We love it when Michael speaks, and I love playing his videos because I want you to really think about what he's talking about. I watch Michael all the time. I actually just sent my stepmother a video of Michael Martini. And she was like, all right, what am I doing with this Bitcoin, Brian? I was like, why don't you buy some or take my crypto and DeFi course? You know, family members in my courses are just a pain. My daughter actually just graduated. She did pretty good, actually. But I sent my stepmom the video of Michael Saylor, and I said, watch this, you know, and I think she's starting to go down the rabbit hole, and maybe I'll orange pill my stepmom. And so this is what Michael Saylor said to me about Bitcoin.
We went from investing 250 million in Bitcoin to 425 million in Bitcoin to eventually $1 billion in Bitcoin to $2 billion in Bitcoin to just slightly less than 4 billion.
You said there are decades when nothing happens and there are weeks when Bitcoin happens.
So every decade there's some profound paradigm shift. It's such an out of the blue idea that no one can conceive of why you would even want it. What you've got is a lot of people questioning all their premises, and rising through that chaos is a new idea. What if I can encrypt energy? What if I can encrypt money such that nobody on earth, no government can debase it, no corporation can steal it? I don't trust anybody. I'm going to create a shared immutable ledger, incorruptible, immortal, transcendental ledger. If I can transfer $1 million of value from me to you without an intermediary, that means I have transcended the political realm.
You said, Brian, I like Bitcoin because it has low aspirations.
The idea of Bitcoin was, how do I create a protocol that's fair and equitable that I give as a gift to the world that no one can control? If you're going to do it and you understand thermodynamics, and if you have any sense of genetics or biology or physics, you realize you need to be very humble in your aspirations. How do we give the gift of property rights, freedom, and sovereignty and empowerment to everybody on the planet? The best idea 30 years ago was YouTube or Google Maps, Twitter or Facebook or email. I think the best idea for the next 30 years is digital energy. Everybody can own their stuff and nobody can take it away from them.
All right, we love Michael. He's always dropping science on us, and he's going to continue to do that. He just really keeps getting better and better every year. And I keep listening to him, and I keep learning more and more. Big takeaways from him is that crypto is encrypted energy. It's like walking around with a pocket full of energy. The more you think about it, the more it makes sense. No government can debase it. No corporation can steal it, because crypto actually transcends money. It's bigger and better than anything we've ever understood of as money. And that's why we like listening and also investing in this amazing space. Folks, if you didn't get it, 2025 is the year of crypto, and you're about to miss this whole thing. The bull market's going to be come and gone before you wake up and realize, oh yeah, I need to do something. So get involved. So you're saying, all right, where and how do we invest? Well, first you have to find the hottest trend, and I'll share that with you shortly. But there's something you're never going to be able to find on your own. There's something that only we can help you with, and that is deal flow. Getting the best of those deals, the one that will get you the 14Xs and the 20Xs and the 22Xs. You're not going to find those on Twitter or X. You're not going to find them on Instagram. You're not going to find them on LinkedIn. And I think you probably know that. The only way to get those is through building relationships with the best people in the business. And that's what I've been doing for the last 4 years, traveling the globe, to places like Dubai, places like Paris, places like London, places like Austin, where I'm building relationships with celebrities, with venture capitalists, with influencers, with all these really, really important people. And they show me their deals and we hook you into those amazing, amazing opportunities. And this is me actually in Austin, Texas. And you can see a picture of 14 members of my investment club. We were just hanging out, having an amazing time. And we tend to smile and laugh a lot together because 1, we're making a ton of money. That's always helpful. 2, we're changing the world. 3, we're making lifelong friends. It's really a beautiful group to be a part of. And of course, from here, I was off to Singapore. Asia is a big part of our future. And so I'm always there to find out what's going on there. We've invested in a lot of Asian companies as well. Then, of course, I was in Toronto a few weeks ago for the Consensus Conference, and of course, met up with a bunch of members of our investment club. And you can see a picture of everybody there on the bottom right as well. We do these annually. We meet up at these conferences, and it's just another great place for us to connect on top of our bi-weekly, twice a week Zoom calls that we do as well. And of course, this is me ending up in Dubai, always going back there, always my home base where everything matters. Folks, if you want to win in this space, you have to invest with the best. What does that mean? You have to look at a lot of deals. And this is the snapshot of the number of deals we'll look at every single week. And we'll pick 4 for you to come and actually watch the CEOs pitch live on our calls. It's pretty exciting. It's an amazing way to teach, and it's an amazing way for you to learn, which is more important. But there's more. You have to understand the financial tools. And quite frankly, you don't. You don't understand pre-sale tokens because no one's talking about it. No one's teaching it. And no one is sourcing the deals for normal people like you and me. That's only something that London Real Ventures is doing. And first, though, you have to find the investment thesis. And we believe that early stage Web3, metaverse, and artificial intelligence investments, they represent the hottest opportunity on the planet. Why? Well, number 1, you buy at super low valuations. Number 2, you see the biggest gains possible. Number 3, you invest in what I'm calling the biggest dislocation of wealth in human history. Yes, it's high risk, but the rewards are even higher. And it's all done through this practice, folks. It's called pre-sale tokens. This is what we do. And it's about buying those tokens secretly from the CEOs before they end up issuing them to the public. And it's really how we kind of get on these amazing deals and make things happen. And it's pretty special that that actually goes on. And of course, this is an example of one of those pre-sale tokens, folks. A lot of people know Solana. It's one of the big ones out there. But did you know, according to this red circle here, that it was issued for pennies on the dollar on April 5th? And you can see the blue circle, that's 4 pennies each. And you could have bought these for literally next to nothing. And what happened? Well, you know what happened. $1,000 invested in this token would now be worth $5 million. That is real money. That is real money that can change your life forever. And that's why we want to get you involved here, because we think money really will give you freedom. And I think everybody wants more freedom in their lives. And that's what we want to do. Give freedom to our members so they can go live their best lives. I don't think money is the end goal. I think money is just a means of living the best life. And that's really what we want to give to you. But it all comes down to the deal flow, and it all comes down to the information I can send you every single day. And it reminds me of that movie Wall Street, where Gordon Gekko said the most valuable commodity I know of is information. It's not really about a stock or a bond. It's about the right piece of information at the right time that can take your $1,000 and make it into 5 million. That's what I do every day, folks. And if you're in our Telegram group for our investment club that I've actually got right here, then you would see inside this investment club group with our 150 members, I pin one of the deals every single day at the top. And you can click it and click a link, and within 30 seconds, you can put $5,000 into the latest deal. My job is to source the highest quality deals and give you the opportunity to make millions and tens of millions of dollars. And we're doing it every single day. Folks, how do you create wealth? You've got to pull the trigger. And most of you are sitting on the sidelines watching all these opportunities go by. You're watching all these people make money, and you're sitting there reading another article or watching another video. And it's just the wrong thing to do in this space. Sometimes you've got to jump in and actually pull the trigger. And I always love to show this video because it really kind of represents what a lot of us has done. And I'll be honest, folks, I've done this before as well. One of my mentors said that research is procrastination in disguise. And I used to analyze something to death, spreadsheet it to death. And this is the case of a lot of you here. Maybe this is you, Gerard, or this is you, Carla, or this is New Lodge, watching these things go by. No, not that one. No, I'm not ready. No, I don't have enough money. No, I'm tired. No, I'm not ready. No, I don't have the degree. No, I wouldn't even understand how to do that. No, and then someone comes in there and just jumps on one of those deals and makes a ton of money. And you're sitting there thinking, you know what? How the heck did they do that? Right? That could be you. All right. And so I want all of you to really think about that. Those opportunities are right there. Stop letting them pass you by and jump in and grab one of those things. And this is what happens when you do. You can have access to one of these companies here. Each one of these with the potential to become a $5 billion, $10 billion protocol. A few of these have already become billion, $2 billion, $3 billion protocols already. And they're going to go higher. And this is how you can really become filthy rich. And it's all because of London Real Ventures, folks. It's this entity that pulls in the great deals from the CEOs and gives you access as a normal person to deals that would usually require $1 billion fund for as little as $5,000 each. It really is brand new technology. I was talking, it was weird, Martini, when I was in Toronto, I met a guy that I used to broadcast with here in London. We had a technology show called Silicon Reel. And we were interviewing all the tech startups here in London about 2012, 2013, right before I went to Castle to see Pena in 14. And all these tech people were coming by, and these companies would later become multi-billion-dollar protocols. And we would interview them, but we could never do anything. We were literally like those lions, and they would come in and we watch them go by, and they'd be like $1 billion, $1 billion, $1 billion. And now we know a bunch of billionaires, and we're sitting here broke still, and we can't even buy a new microphone for the studio. And I saw Colin there, and I said, Colin, I said, it's amazing what we're doing now. We're doing everything we always wish we could do. And I said, the reason is technology. We didn't have the tech back then. We didn't have crypto where you could invest on the blockchain. We didn't have the legal procedure where you could set up these entities for these deals like that for no cost. And I said, now we're doing what we always dreamed of. And he's like, wow, that's amazing, Brian. That's crazy. And so it really is a special point in time. And London Real is the only one that are doing it. And it all comes down to this. I call it our quadruple threat. This is why the CEOs can't wait to get in the door here, because we can really make them famous and make their companies worth billions of dollars. Number one is production. The CEO comes in, has a 2-hour interview with me, and really explains all of the great things they do in their company. Number two, I take that video and distribute it to 5 million potential customers. Number three, we connect them with all the big players in the business. And number four, we write them a check for $200,000. I'm telling you, there's not a CEO in the world that can say no to this, which is how I can give you access to those deals. Folks, there's one last piece that's stopping you from becoming, in my opinion, the wealthy person that you deserve. And that is you're not surrounding yourself with the best people. I think if you keep hanging out with the same people you're hanging out with now, you're going to have the same amount of success. Because I believe you're the average of the 5 people you surround yourself with. Does anybody agree with this? I think we all know this is true. And as one of my mentors used to say to me, who are you hanging out with, Brian? Losers. That's why you're getting loser results. Now, he said it, I didn't. But the point is that your current toxic family member who's always nagging you, or your friend from high school who still acts like they're in high school, aren't helping you create the wealth you need. You need to surround yourself around with winners, people that are worth 1,000 times more than you. That's how you get to the next level. And I looked at my life in the different stages from like 16 to about 30 years old, and I realized that the only reason I had this rapid success was because I got myself around new groups of people. I left my friends and family behind in San Diego and went to MIT in Boston. I left those people behind and drove to set up shop on Wall Street. And I hung out with those hardcore traders that taught me how to make millions of dollars. But it was only by getting uncomfortable and surrounding myself with people way ahead of me that I could do this. And that's what you need to do if you want to get to that level. And so that's really why I created my investment club. So you can hang out with people like Marianne Bartels. Now, Marianne's a 35-year Wall Street veteran. She's the founding member, one of the founding members of our investment club. And she's made her clients tens of billions of dollars. How would you like to hang out with her every single week? I'm telling you, right? Martini knows she's next level. And this is what we're offering. Imagine spending time with her. And I always say, when you're around these people, it's not what they do, it's what they don't do, right? They're not doing stupid stuff. They're not saying stupid things. They're not hanging out with stupid people. And it's one of the reasons they're so successful. And yet, if you tried to hang out with Marianne in your everyday life, she wouldn't even have a coffee with you. She's too busy. And so this is a way for you to hack into a new peer group and change your life forever. This is Tigran. He's one of America's top 100 criminal defense attorneys. This is your new peer group. Another one of our founding members. This guy's a high-level attorney doing big stuff in the crypto space, creating the next billion-dollar companies, and you can hang out with him every week. This is Andrew Haynes. He's one of our technical experts. He's here graduating from one of the top executive training schools in Switzerland. This guy will help you with any technical issue you have. And of course, this is Dr. Encore. 4 years ago, he was in medicine and he took my crypto and DeFi Academy. He graduated, was the founding member of the investment club, and now he sources all of our deals full time. Folks, I got these people and another 146 high-level members that can get you to step your game up, as opposed to hanging out with the current people you're hanging out with now, which obviously aren't helping you get rich. It's time to change your program. As one of my mentors likes to say to me, how's your program working out? It's a sobering thing to think about, right? Not so well. Maybe it's time to change things up, right? These days go by real fast. You're going to blink, it's going to be 5 years. You're going to blink again, it's going to be 10 years, and it'll be too late. And this is our family. Folks, these are some selfies I took behind the scenes, and what you see is just a lot of love, a lot of people that really love being together. We love hanging out, we love supporting each other, and we love making a lot of money together. Folks, I believe your net worth is your network. And if you don't get this in your head, you're probably going to struggle. Get in the right room, surround yourself with the right people, and you're going to become wealthy. Folks, I believe if you give a man a fish, you feed him for a day. If you teach him how to fish, you feed him for a lifetime. We teach people how to fish every Monday, every Thursday. I'm going to get you up the curve. And that's one of the reasons we created the investment club, because 4 years ago, we did our first pre-sale token. It was a hot gaming company called Cross the Ages. And I'll be honest with you, Gerald, it freaked me out. It really scared me. I had some dude on the call, on a Zoom call I'd never met before. And after the call, he wanted me to send $100,000 in stable coins to this wallet I'd never seen before. And I thought, this guy's crazy. Bunch of cowboys. And I told him I needed a week, and he said, you got an hour. And I thought, man, here we have one of the greatest chances for anybody to create wealth. At the same time, we've got the greatest risk to lose all your money. And here I am, Mr. Hotshot Banker for 15 years, MIT guy, and I'm uncomfortable. I'm scared. And I thought to myself, all of you are going to get eaten for lunch. But if we could find a way to navigate this space with you, all of you could become wealthy. And that might change the world more so than anything we've done here at London Real. And so we decided to launch the investment club. And here it is, folks. It's an application-only program. There's only 10 spaces available every quarter. They're always gone. We're oversubscribed. Martini's busy pretty much 24/7 fielding calls from people that want in on this now. It's 6 modules, 3 months of coursework. It's a 12-month program. But guess what? No one's ever left. It's become a lifetime program. We do weekly Zoom calls with top CEOs, doing 4 CEOs a week. Private Telegram group. You get access to all the deal flow, and you get a full year of the Kings of DeFi. Next live call, 7 p.m. on Thursday. Come join us. It's going to be amazing. We teach this remote to people all over the world. Module 1, what is a crypto pre-sale token? We actually gave you a link to that module to begin with. Module 2 is what is a SAFT? Does anybody here know what a SAFT is? You probably don't. And honestly, you should be embarrassed with yourself, because these are the things that are going to make you rich and you don't even know what they are. What are you doing? You know, you could look this thing up if you wanted, but you don't. And that's why it's my job. I'm going to teach you what these things are. A SAFT is a simple agreement for future tokens. Once you know what this is, you can really unlock the key to wealth. And that's what I want you to do. Module 3, how to identify early winners. I'm going to show you how to really do pre-sale due diligence on a company. We use the 5T method. That's team, traction, technology, tokenomics, and terms and conditions. You can evaluate any company, anywhere, anytime. Module 4, how to generate new deal flow. I'll tell you what conference to go to, what ticket to buy, what to wear, and how you can use your phone and QR codes and literally scan the deals back to the club in minutes. Module 5, how do we nurture these deals to multi-billion-dollar protocols? And Module 6, what do you do with all the cash? You're going to have so much money, you don't know what to do with it. And I recommend you spend some on some silly things, save the rest, and invest the rest back into these token protocols. There's our Telegram group. Here's the Discord group, and here are the details, folks. As I mentioned, we're oversubscribed. All right? Those 10 spaces go fast. The investment in the next 10, 20 years of your life in a peer group that's going to get you winning. in the education and the mentorship and the deal flow in your wealth is $50,000. And that gets you everything. Now, look, I understand $50,000 is a significant amount of money. I used to make $6 an hour. I get it, but it's also probably the greatest investment you can ever make, and it'll change your life forever. So if you think about it that way, it's probably quite cheap. And of course, it's your chance to take part of the greatest wealth creation event in human history, happening now and ending very soon. And also those deals I showed you, you can actually jump in on those now before they go. By the way, this is one of the deals you missed last quarter. And this is a SAFT agreement, by the way, just so you know. That deal that you missed was up 466% in one day. And I always tell people, if you had stopped with the excuses and justification and the research, the procrastination in disguise, Gerald, and put 10K on this deal, you would have paid for the club for the rest of your life. That alone would probably create millions in wealth for you. And it's something I always tell people, if you had just pulled the trigger and stopped with all the hemming and hawing and then, you'd be in and you'd be done. And yet most of us put all of this baggage in front of us, and it stops us from winning. And it's a funny thing, but I don't know why people do that. And the results you've seen: Shrapnel, 20x in 20 days. Skillful AI, $4 million profit. Mochaverse up 20x. Story up 22x. Cats up 14x. 1RT up 4x. How many more of these do you have to see? You have to see 20 more of these? No. You know this is the right thing. The hang up is somewhere in your brain. And so why not tell your brain to just maybe for once say, hey, to hell with you. I'm going to make this decision. I'm going to take us on a ride. And we're finally going to get where we want to go. I'm tired of you stopping me from winning in this life. And that's what a lot of people need to do sometime. I've done that a few times in my life. And this is my pledge to the people of my club. I'm going to create $10 billion for them in the next 10 years. It's probably going to happen in less, probably more like 5 years. Folks, we got all these amazing members. They have real names with real stories. If you go to londonreal.tv/club, you can actually watch a video from each one of these people. Carol says every member is both a learner and an investor, and she's right. Joe says the window of opportunity is closing quickly, and you know he's right. You're about to miss this. This is Jerry, just honored to be part of the club, loves the vibe. This is Dr. Yvette. She's a single mom with 4-year-old twins. I mean, what's your excuse? Come on, that you're busy? She's busy, okay? She's still done 13 deals, and you're meanwhile telling me how busy you are. I don't believe it. I think there's something else that's stopping you. This is Jens, who asks, how can you afford not to join us? How can you not do this? That's going to cost you the most. This is Petia. She actually couldn't afford the club. She joined anyways. Then she found the money and found the money for 63 investments. How did she do that? She trained her brain. That's what she did. She went into the fear and she manifested massive amounts of success. Can you do that? If you do, you deserve this wealth. And if you don't deserve it. All right? And let's just be clear. But that decision is just one decision away. One decision away. This is Chris, who says the deal flow is beyond what I expected. Joining was the best decision I ever made. Powerful. And Chris does this with his 14-year-old son. They jump in on deals together. They split the investment. It's really crazy, actually. And it's fun. We love fathers and sons. We love husbands and wives. We really think financial education is a family affair. And this is what Chris said about the club.
What the London Real Investment Club actually does for you, it gives you the keys to open that door to the inside deals. In the last 3 weeks, I've participated in 3 incredible deals: a layer 2 Bitcoin protocol, an incredible AI protocol. The deal flow is beyond what I expected. I don't think I've ever seen a model like this that just gives average folks the opportunity to be behind the deals. And that's exactly what we've done. Not only that, you get to hang out with Brian Rose every week. And for me, that was huge, because I look at Brian as somebody who's not only an expert in the space, and I think is on the leading edge, but just the leading edge of thought with London Real and the work he's doing there. To anyone who's taking a serious look at this, I know it's a big decision. It was a big decision for me and my family, and it is one of the best decisions I've ever made. So I wish you all the best and hope you come join us.
All right, booyah. We love Chris, love his vibes. We love all the vibes. Everybody in the club is really like that. It's really amazing. Folks, remember, it only takes one. One of these deals can change your life forever. You've got to have one in your portfolio. Really, you need one of these. Final thoughts. Don't let this year pass you by. It's almost gone. You can learn early stage investing now. What I teach you, you can use your entire life. The liquid tokens and equities, the one you can buy on the exchange right now, like Ethereum and Bitcoin and all of them, you're not going to get a 20x, 50x return. Someone like me has already taken that out of those coins. You have to start early stage. And of course, this is a chance to learn from active elite investors for only $50,000. Really, I know people that run big funds. And if you said to a Tapiero, look, would you give me your deal flow and teach me how to invest for 10 years for $50,000? He would laugh. He would laugh at you. He wouldn't do it for $500,000. I know him. So this really is an incredible opportunity. And yes, it is a significant investment, but think about how it's going to change your life forever. And of course, thanks to Martini, we have a payment plan. So $10,000 a month for 6 months will get you in. What does that mean? Well, if you're limited capital right now, 10K gets you in. You can put 5K on Metafied, 5K on the other deal as well, Naris, and you're in. Naris Protocol has tokens coming. What did I post in the group today, Martini? 17 days from now, you have tokens. I'm telling you, this is the greatest time to get in on crypto, and you're joining the investment club right at our peak before we're about to go even higher. It's really a great place to be, and it gets you in the best deal flow in the world. Remember what Warren Buffett said, the best investment you can make is in yourself. We're talking about that peer group of winners that you can surround yourself with and go into battle and win, win, win. You're not going to do it with your current friends and family. Let's be honest. You know that. I know that. So surround yourself with winners, go in for the big win. And you can now come back later to your friends and family and throw them some of the money you made. But you've got to change things if you want new results. Of course, the only way to do this is book a call with Martini. So if you are serious about joining, book a call with her. Also reach out and get on one of our Monday or Thursday calls at 7 p.m. London time. Come check it out. It's like Shark Tank for crypto. It's a lot of fun. You're going to learn a lot. You see the community. You'll see how we act. It really is an amazing way to educate too. We love to educate. So book that call with her, but make sure you don't waste your time. Just show up, do your research, and have a conversation and find out if this is a good fit for you. And of course, you're always welcome to join our Crypto and DeFi Academy. 4 weeks, 4 modules. We'll take you from zero to hero and all things crypto and Bitcoin. You're just going to be doing so much there. I teach it personally. It's 8 hours of live calls with me. You've got our triple tiered accountability system. So you actually do the work that's very hard. We got dedicated coaches, team leaders, community managers, and of course, a private group for posting assignments and videos. And there's people there that can help you with any questions in what can be a complicated world. Of course, you're pre-approved for that. Go to leonardville.tv/buy. We got a discounted price there. We're starting next week. And here's our 8-step trading checklist. Take a snapshot of this before you ever make a trade. Go through these. I promise you, you're going to save a lot of money. Folks, what is your why? I'm posting these pictures in the morning, Martin. These guys are getting crazier every single day, these guys. I'm telling you, I don't even know what to do with them anymore. And I got a feeling this is the trend as well. I was just looking at my picture this morning. This is them this morning, right? I'm telling you. Yeah, people always say, are you sure they're your kids? They're so good looking. I was like, what do you mean? And so, yeah, look, I always think, what is my why? Whenever I'm having a tough day, whenever I'm struggling with something, I just think, why am I doing this? And what I'm doing is I'm creating the future for the people I love and care about. And that means I have to provide for them and protect them from all the weird things going on these days. I'm telling you, these are crazy times. I don't think we really understand, but the combination of AI and blockchain in our current financial system, we're headed for some real challenges, and you better be prepared. Okay. And that means you better own some digital assets and create some wealth, and do it sooner than later, and do it for the people that you're there to protect and provide for, your kids, your parents, your family, your community, your friends. But to do that, you're going to have to take risk. You can't be sitting on the sofa. You can't be saving your money in a bank. You can't be working your 9 to 5 and hoping that someone's going to take care of you. It's not going to work, folks. So channel the people in your life and go take some risk out there and pull the trigger and get the rewards that I think you deserve. Here's the video I promised at londonville.tv/bonus. It'll give you a snapshot into what we do behind the scenes. Go check that out. And of course, if you really want to join us, make that happen. You can also come to one of our calls on Monday and Thursday. Send a message to Martini or go to londonville.tv/club call, and you can see the links. Come on, watch the investors pitch. You're going to learn something. You'll see the community, and you're absolutely going to love it. Folks, I'd love to answer some questions. Send me any questions you have in the chat here on Zoom. And thank you so much for being here right now. I can see we actually got Martini here, which is rare. She's sometimes on a call talking to people all over the world that want to join us now. Martini, always love to get your thoughts.
Yes, absolutely. Well, great call today, everybody. And yes, definitely a good call today, Brian. And you always give great perspective, I would say, on these calls, and not only just informing us of what's going on in the world of politics and the world of crypto and DeFi, but really just giving the strategies that are needed in order to move forward and to pivot accordingly with life, right? And so, one thing that I definitely took away today that you said today, Brian, was that money is not the goal, which interesting enough that for a lot of people are chasing money and they're chasing the bag, as we say here in Vegas, but yet it's not necessarily about the money. It's what money being the means to living your best life, right? And so money is truly just the medium for us to, be able to provide for our families, to be able to do the things that we love, and to really invest in a greater future for ourselves, for our loved ones, and just make sure that, things run smoothly and everybody's set and taken care of, right? And so, in taking a look at it, money is not the goal. It's really the life and the lifestyle that money provides. So, in order for you to go ahead and pivot with us, I would say inside of the investment club, where we have well over 150 members from all over the world who are making money to pursue their dreams, right? And they're making these investments to really do the things that they want to do in life and really make sure that their families are secure, and just making sure that life in general goes smoothly, regardless of what's going on with the politics, regardless of the world events, regardless of the economy. We are setting things in motion so that we are even, we are level, we are set, we are steady, no matter what's going on in the world. So if this is your jam and that's something that you are really considering for yourself, we want to support you in that. So I put some links inside of the chat below. The very first link is for you to go ahead and take a look at the Investment Club page, and that's going to give you rundown detail of what the Investment Club is all about, what we stand for, where we see ourselves going together for the next 10 years, and then also taking a look at the caliber of companies that we have invested in from the time that we started all the way until now, which has been about 3 years, which is kind of crazy. But yeah, just taking a look at the caliber of deals that we've invested in. So the next thing is when you are ready to join us now and start investing alongside us now, the next step is to go ahead and schedule a call with me, and that's the second link inside of the chat. But as Brian said, I only want to talk to people who are serious. And serious means you've done your research, you've entered a couple of the master classes that we have here, you've been on a couple of our Zoom calls for the Investment Club, and also you've gone through some of Brian's emails where he educates people on what the Investment Club is all about, but also just the details of what early stage investing is all about, right? So once you've done all that, you've checked all your boxes and you just need some questions answered, the next step is to go ahead and schedule a call with me, and we'll just see how we can best support you while you get on the inside. And then, of course, if you don't see a time that's available on my calendar, please be sure to go ahead and send me a private message on Facebook Messenger. That's always the fastest way to get me, or you can send me an email at martini@londonreal.tv and let me know who you are, where you're from, and the best time to get a hold of you within your time zone, and we will definitely make it work. All right. And also, I know that Brian did an amazing job of explaining and really just getting into the feel of what the Investment Club is all about, but we want you to experience us in real time. So the very last link that I put in there in the chat is for you to actually come and attend one of our live Investment Club calls, or a couple of them if you want to come on a couple of them. So they're on Mondays and Thursdays at 7 p.m. London time, where you'll get to actually see these CEOs coming to pitch their companies over to us. You'll see Brian doing the Shark Tank style questions, and then you'll get to see we have well over 150 members from all over the world, different walks of life, different economic backgrounds, different perspectives, and just different, ways of being, and just bringing in different insights. And this is how we come together to invest in these amazing deals. So it always just reminds me that we are not doing this alone, and you don't have to do it alone either. So come, the very last link there is for you to go ahead and join in on one of our Investment Club calls. So we hope to see you on the inside soon, and back to you, Brian.
Thank you, Martini. Give it up for Martini. I really appreciate your insights as well. Those are really good thoughts. Look, when I'm in Dubai, and I'm there quite often, I meet a lot of people, Martini, that have a lot of money and are in the pursuit of money. And I see a lot of unhappy people because money is the goal. And honestly, that was me up until I was 40 years old. I thought the money was the goal. And that's why I was so miserable, because I didn't realize the money was just a means to doing something incredible with my life with purpose. The purpose isn't money. And unfortunately, I think we're taught that a lot in this world. And I think a lot of people buy into that. I know I did. And then I was left really empty and felt really hopeless at the end. And so we really want to stress that that's not the end goal here. The end goal isn't to make a bunch of money and buy a bunch of stuff and thinking that we've won. The goal is to create the wealth that gives us all this freedom to really explore, what's the best thing we can do for this world, and how can we give back the best? How can we create amazing things for our community, for our families, for the world? And that's what we really want to think about here. And that also gives us this extra supercharged amount of energy to go do it, because our purpose is super high. And we're not here to just celebrate, the Bugattis and the jets. We're here to celebrate what can we do with this to make this world better. And also investing in crypto, by definition, it's instruments of freedom. So even doing what we do makes the world a better place. It democratizes finance. It creates wealth for people all over the world, and also gets financial education and brings them into a system that they've been excluded from for the past 200 or 300 years. And that's why we're really connected. And that's why a lot of people connect to us. And that's why I think a lot of great things happen to us as well, just because what we do really has this extraordinary meaning to it. And so if this sounds interesting to you, this alone could get you vibrating on a really good frequency that might start attracting a lot of wonderful things in your life. I think a lot of our members report that. A lot of times their lives end up becoming better. They really resonate with the community, and they attract a lot of amazing things in their lives. And so, yeah, that's just some thoughts on this, folks. There's a lot going on here. But what I would say is, don't sleep on this. Don't let this go by, because that's the biggest mistake you can make. You're going to have to learn digital assets sooner than later. I mean, they're going to use them in Walmart, for God's sakes. All right. So why not be sooner than later and take advantage of the wealth you can create? You don't want to be the last one on the boat. You're going to get the worst seat. Okay. You really want to be, you always don't want to always be the first one on the boat either. Right now, we're about 15, 20% of the people going on the boat. So the first 10, 15% of the people went on the boat. It didn't sink. And now the boat's looking pretty nice. It's going pretty fast. You can jump in now and still get some amazing benefits. And that's really what we're offering. So there you go. Reach out to Martini. Join us for one of these calls on a Monday or Thursday, and then pull the jam trigger and create this life for yourself. Thank you so much. All right. Wishing everybody all the best. And I look forward to seeing you on one of our live calls. Thank you. Bye. The mass scale transformation of humanity, the fully empowered, conscious, and cooperative species. It's something we live and breathe. We have a mission here. We want to help build the decentralized finance infrastructure of the future. What is your mission?
Hey, it's Brian Rose from London Real. How would you like to join my investment club, where I teach you everything you need to know about early stage token and equity investments? Look, right now is one of the greatest times to invest in human history. We've got AI happening. We've got the metaverse that we built on AI, and all of this needs the blockchain, which is what we specialize in here. In my investment club, it's a 12-month program, 3 months of coursework where I teach you all the basics.
I want to talk about how capital isn't enough, and I want to talk about how you can upgrade your arsenal of influence in a variety of ways.
I teach you how to do basic due diligence. I teach you how to go to a conference and come back with 10 deals.
Just go in, bam, 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 bam.
This is super exciting, and we're able to do this here at London Real because I speak with some of the greatest guests on the planet. We have an amazing network, and we also have a structure to actually invest money in these deals.
Just as a strategy in your business, just keep it simple, especially the first time you do it, but do it at the same time.
I'm telling you, this is an incredible opportunity. I've got the best community in the business right now, 75 people from around the world in over 20 countries that are alongside, all investing together. And you can learn and network with the best in the business.
No decision is much worse than a no. Something, action, action, action. The clock is ticking.
If you're interested in this, click a link below and set up a call with one of my team. They'll walk you through what's happening, the opportunities, the requirements. But I plan on working with this group for the next 10 years, and we're going to do massive things here. And I hope you are a part of it. Click on the link and let's do this.